What's going on over there? Can't even see it. Anyways, any fucking ways, man.
See an accident, something. All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. Let's get into this camp lesson here. Should brought some water.
Shit. Slacky, 1 second. Oh, I got like that. Let's get into this lesson real quick here. What the hell? Yeah, so this is going into prophecies that will come to happen, okay? Basically, whatever Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has said will happen is going to happen. We have faith in that, okay? We'll just jump straight into the scriptures. Yeah, prophecies to come, events that will happen, all right? Let's go to Numbers chapter 23 and 19. Oh, shit. Let's go to Numbers chapter 19 and verse 23 and see what it says here. Numbers chapter 23 and 19. Yahweh is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not a human, so he does not change his mind. Okay? Just like it says he hated Esau before, he still hates Esau now. Okay? He don't change his mind on those things. He wanted Israel to be his nation, and Israel's his nation. He didn't bring in a whole bunch of heathens and say, yeah, the heathens are welcome in. Nah, none of that. Okay? Has he ever spoken and failed to act? Has his promise, Salakia, has he ever promised and not carried it through? That's right. Any promise that he makes, he carries it through. Okay? His word is bond, as they say. Alright? Not like these niggas out here say, yeah, I'll be there by 3 o'clock. Fucking 7 o'clock, this nigga come rolling in. And we got much examples of that, you know. That's man. That's, you know, the nature of some men. But Yahweh is not like that. Okay? Yahweh said, yo, at 3 o'clock, that's it. 3 o'clock, best guaranteed. Okay? Like you had these rappers, when these rappers show up for when these rappers show up for their recording, you know, rehearsing and recording and stuff like that, you'll hear much stories, especially Old Dirty Bastard, you know, people like that. These guys supposed to be in the studio. They're supposed to be in the studio at like 8 o'clock or whatever. 2 o'clock in the morning, they come rolling in. 2, 3 o'clock, you know, drunk, high, or whatever. They lay their tracks down and then they fucking leave. But they were supposed to be there at 7, 8 o'clock, right? So that's man's nature. Man may say, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be there at 3 o'clock, man. Yeah. The next thing you know, he gets wrapped up with some honey, and he can't go nowhere. He don't want to go nowhere. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay right here," you know. But Yahweh, not like that. Yahweh says, "That's it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." Bottom line. So in man's nature, man may slip, go off, but Yahweh, no, he's not gonna slip and not gonna go off. If he promised it, that's it. It's gonna happen. So he said, this world is coming to the end. Esau's world is coming to an end. He set the bounds of him. But that's just it. And we have our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua that what he says he's going to do, he's going to do. Okay? Like even we ourselves, sometimes in the past or even now, you know, you think to be at a spot for this time, for this particular time, but, you know, trial and error, some shit happens. You know, you may be driving and next thing you know your tire blows out, right? So on and so forth. So that's why it tells you that man's goings of the Lord. All right. So going back into this, let's go to Romans chapter 3. And we're just bringing the facts up, okay? Because it's the truth. Whatever Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he gonna do, he gonna do. You say he gonna destroy this fucking place with thermonuclear fire, you know? That's just it. He gonna destroy Babylon with thermonuclear fire. Ain't nothing that we can, you know, stop it, hold up, let's go get 1,000,000 counselors. No. He said it, that's it, man. As a matter of fact, before I get that scripture, let me get that real quick. Can't plead with him and say, "Hey man, you know what? Come on, you know, we'll be good. We'll be good for 28 days, man. Come on." Let me get this real quick. Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against Yahweh. So there's nobody that can stand up and say, "Hey, reverse this, turn it back." No. Hold up. We'll be good for 28 days, man. We'll stop eating pork. Come on, don't do this, you know? There's nobody that can stand up and plead a cause for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to stop what he is ushering in. Okay? What's to happen? Let me go into another one of these. Another one. Yeah, let me get Job chapter 9 and verse 12. Behold, he taketh away. Who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? Okay? So nobody can stand up and say, "Hey, what are you doing? You know, who are you? What you think you're doing?" No, it ain't nothing like that. He's the big boss. He says what's happening. So ain't nobody can stand up and say, "Hey, we got 1,000 counselors right here. We got 1,000 mighty men right here." No. It ain't happening. Oh shit, look at that. Let's get into another thing because we're all of dust. Romans chapter 9. Romans 9 and 20. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Nah, you just play your role, man. Basically, that's it. You play your role in this movie, man. We all got a part to play. Ain't nobody can say, "Hey man, can you reverse my role?" Or ain't? No. Why'd you make me in this position? No. Just play out your role, man. That's about it. That's all we can do. So ain't nobody can go to the Most High and try to stop what he has prepared. All right? Just to concrete the fact. Let's go to Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. True, some of them were unfaithful, but just because they were unfaithful doesn't mean that Yahweh will be unfaithful. Of course not. Even if everyone else is a liar, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is true, as the scriptures say about him. You will be proven right in what you say, and you will win your case in court. Yeah. And hey, the scriptures tell us that we're listing all the charges. Psalms chapter 50 and 20. The Esau thought that Yahweh was altogether one as himself. But in the NLT it says, I am listing all my charges against you. And how is he doing that? He's doing that with us being out here on the highways and byways. You know, his message is through his servants the prophets. That's who he gives the message to, okay? So, we're going to be proving right what we're saying when it comes to this destruction, when it comes to this place going down, because Yahweh Shimei Shai is not a man that he should lie, okay? Once again, that's in that human nature, okay? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Something real quick. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. Okay? And we understand the truth. We have the 100% truth. And whatever Yahweh Shimei Shai has said that's going to happen, we put our faith in Yahweh Shimei Shai that you could guarantee at the end, year, day, and week that that's going to pop off. All right? Yep. Let's get this real quick. Going back into the faith, right? And putting our trust into the Lord. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Okay? So faith is the evidence of things not seen, right? But in our mind's eye, we're putting our trust into Yahweh Shimei Shai, because when we're reading these scriptures, when we're reading about the things of the past that happened, we know in part through faith, or we trust in part through faith that, yeah, these things did happen. These events did take place, okay? And we trust in what the scriptures is telling us, that who we are. So we say, yeah, man, you know what? This is true, okay? Because we could actually, you know, in our mind's eye, we can actually see it. But really, everybody, you know, that's what they say. It's like, how do you say it? Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4 says it perfectly in a sense. Because for them to believe, they need something to see. We don't need something to, you know, grasp our eyes on. It's the spirit of Yahweh Shimei Shai that's rolling through us that makes us to believe anyways, okay? Not on our own accord, it's Yahweh, okay? Because look, how come the 2/3 and these people, how come they ain't up here running around saying, yeah, yo, that's true. Yeah, we're here. Flocking by the hundreds, thousands. So this faith comes from on high. This believing in him comes from on high, okay? And for us, the ones that, you know, Lord willing that we be of that number, the elect, that's his care for us, to show us, man. Hey, look, this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. Turn your ways and serve me, right? The rest of 2/3, what they going to do? Man, I don't believe that. I don't really see it. I can't really, it doesn't really match up in my eyes. I don't really see what's happening with when you're saying this and that. I don't see it, you know? So what do? They tally on, they go head forward into destruction. Anyways, let's get back into this. And the scriptures tell you without that faith, it's impossible to please him, right? Very same chapter there. 2 Ezra chapter 2 and 15. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And the only people who are going to recognize this is the ones that the Lord gave the faith onto. These are gifts from on high. Okay, the rest of 2/3 they don't have it. Okay, so faith is something that's within us. It's a gift. Okay, you can't go to the store and say $20 worth of faith, please. You know, $100 worth of doctrine. No. Revelation 3 and 20 says what it says for a reason. The Lord has chosen certain men that their ears can hear and their eyes can see. Okay, even though it's not apparent, like I said, Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4, they want a sign, they want something tangible because they're carnal in heart, right? But us, we're spiritual, okay? We're judging all matters.
small things, big things, whatever it may be. Okay, be not ignorant in any matter, small or great, roughly phrasing. So going back into this, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I have put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. He puts this within us. This is not on our own accord. Okay? As a matter of fact, the scriptures tell us, let's get this real quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. NLT, we now have this light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars containing this great treasure. This makes it clear that our great power is from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, not from ourselves. Right? This comes from on high. This is a gift, okay? And if you don't have this gift, you lucked out, you lost. You can't see, okay? So going back into this, and this goes back into the Lord putting these words in our mouth. Wisdom of Solomon 7. Let me get that real quick. Matthew chapter 10 and 20. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 14. Or no, 16. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and the knowledge of workmanship. Okay? The Most High is who gave this unto us. It wasn't the rest of these people out here in the world. Nobody out here in the world gave us this. We woke up one day and said, what, we want to be Israelites? No, that was the Lord working on us. And eventually what happened one day, you know, the Lord was working on us, sent us through diverse situations in life. And eventually the time that he wanted that seed, that sleeper cell to wake up, that's on his time. But the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for awakening us. When he breathed that breath back into us to rise upon our feet and come do this work. So all that comes from on high. All that comes from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's not of our accord. Meaning we woke up one day and said, yeah, we're going to be these great Israelites. You know what? I think I want to be an Israelite, mommy. No, it doesn't work like that. It's the Most High who gives it. Yup. You have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth on to wisdom and directed the wise. That's verse 15. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 15, right? So going back into this, Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1 again. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I have put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay? For they are faithful and true, and they were caused to be written in what? In paper, the roll, the scroll. Okay? And the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for us having this today, that we can understand these things, that we can actually, in our mind's eye, while we read these scriptures, imagine these things and see it play out. Okay? Just like when we're reading years before about the MOTB, and we're reading about right now, like the midst of Jacob's trouble, and all these things that we were reading about years ago. Now we're seeing it play out. Okay? There is no apparent sign to actually really say, yeah, that's that. But we had to have what? Faith onto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai with what was written. Okay? And watch it play out. And we've seen it play out. Okay? We're seeing it play out right now. So the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for giving us that ability to know what time we in. As the scriptures say, measure thou the time diligently within itself. You have to have the spirit to do that, man. If you don't have the spirit, you will not be able to discern these times, man. You'll be stuck in the world, doing worldly shit. Okay? And that's the problem with a lot of these people out here. They think this is just because of us, and we said this and we said that. That's not what it is, man. That's not what it is indeed. So let's get back into something. The harsh times that are coming upon this place, man. Let's get into that.
Because we keep telling you, mount up now, man. Don't try to mount up when the time is all the turmoil and you can't do nothing and you all fucked up out there. We're telling you to mount up now. Not 3 years later, a year later. Now's the time to draw close to it. Okay? All the turmoil that's happening out there, if you can't see, you just blind. Okay? All the madness that's happening, you're seeing it happening, popping off in the States right now before our fucking eyes. ICE going after the Southern and the Northern Kingdom. You would have never thought that. They always had their dispute with, as they say, the border crossings and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. They always had that dispute, but this is straight out cold, man. This is kicking off doors, grabbing people out of their house, people who were even born there, all right, in America, right, in Babylon. They're grabbing up and snatching them up and talking about, yeah, we want to deport you to your parents' land, man. It's fucked up. But hey, it's the things that we were reading about years ago. Now they're starting to play out. So ain't no time to try to run, hide, or buckle, or shake the knees, man. Have that faith onto Yahweh Shem Yahushai and hold firm, man. Pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai that He keeps you in there, because these times that are coming, it's not gonna be funny, man. The jokes are over. The gloves are off, man. Now it's bare knuckle. And he wants to kill you Jakes, man. And you Jakes, you just don't get it. You keep thinking this guy's your friend. You know, your hangout buddy on a Friday night or a Saturday night at the bar. But remember, this man is plotting to throw you into a pit to try and destroy you, man. And he took league with these other nations too. You think these other nations like us? I just made that video the other day. They all hate us, man. All these nations, okay? Ain't not one of them like us, man. All we're good for is singing and dancing to them, and brightening up your teeth and making fucking, funny face expressions. You know? That's why they call you the names they call you, man. You gotta understand that. You're a byword amongst all these nations. They don't like you. You think one of them is really gonna take you into their house underneath their wing? Crazy. And if they do, there's some probably hidden intentions behind it. Okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy creators in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Main point. Draw close to Yahweh Shem Yahushai now. Okay? Seek the Lord now, before those times start to explode upon this place. We're already at the doors open, and the foot, the tippy toe is entering into that door. So wait December, wait till it gets cold. That's when Esau Edom likes to really fuck with you Jakes, man. Okay. Oh yeah. While the sun or light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors be shut in the streets, and the sound of grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Wait till the more. You see what they're doing in UK actually? Kind of, that's perfect in a sense. Because soon enough, there's going to be a time where there's no more work in America and no more work in this place. It's going to come to an end. And right now, as you can see, this is happening. People are looking around for jobs. They can't even fucking find a job. These immigrants coming over here, they done tech up the jobs, but even them are losing their jobs. Losing it to various sorts of different things, right, that happen in their economy. People can't pay their employees no more. They're reaching for money here and there. So this place is being brought low. But also remember too, what's happening in the UK, yo, with that digital ID. The man number is saying, yo, you will not fucking be working. We're gonna kick you. Imagine that, yo. You've been living here for the longest time, grew up, bred, whatever. This is how you know that Edom is harsh, man, because they're gonna do it to their own fucking people. And they're telling you, yo, unless you take this digital scan, face ID, whatever the fuck, you will not work. So imagine when the times come when they say take the MOTB or that's it for your ass, man. So that, you know, that's the precursor to the MOTB. They work with gradualism. So just imagine when the MOTB hits and they say no more of this digital card shit. People are thieving, they're stealing shit, they're duplicating shit. We're gonna put that shit inside of you and you cannot duplicate that at all. Okay? We got your biometric, you know, your body and shit. We can sense your heat, everything, okay? So, you guys wait till that time comes. We keep trying to tell you, but you're not listening. And right now, you see all these people are losing their fucking jobs left, right, and center. People can't eat. Fans only girls can't even afford to pay their fucking rent. Meanwhile, they're making heavy money. Now they ain't making money. You know, everything's coming to a halt, as you would say. Okay, the automotive industry taking another L. All these tariffs too. That's going around from country to country because when China does it to Canada, Canada does it back to China. When U.S. does it to China, U.S. does it to everybody. But they also too retaliate with their tariffs, right? And they say they got, in the States, they got a lot of automobiles sitting in fucking areas and nobody ain't buying them, okay? Shit ain't moving like how it used to move before, okay? And this is all, you know, a building of the harsh times, man. When you used to work 50 hours a week, 70 hours a week, okay? And bring home them bucks. Now you can't even bring home a piece of steak. All you gotta concentrate on is paying your fucking bills and your rent. Just to have a fucking shelter over top of your head. So them harsh times is coming. Yup, this is why 2nd Ezra talks about it. Chapter 14 and 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. And haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall be done hereafter. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen. So right now, all the things that, you know, since yesterday, last week, you know, compile them all together. Greater evils is going to come, worse than those, okay? So this is why we're telling you, turn back. Turn ye back, you backsliding children, and serve your power, okay? Salvation comes with your power, man. Salvation is not going to come with Tyrone down the street that got a Draco and 30 shots, all right? Salvation is not going to come through a 223, 556, all right? It's not going to come through the little 380 in your pocket. None of that is going to happen. Remember, that's his sword. That's his blessing, okay? What the hell are you running with the Mercedes top open? Trying to get some air in the car. This society's fucked, yo. It's become low, real low. I'm bridging the car that now. You know it's you. But anyways, let's keep going. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. For the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasten the vision to come, which thou hast seen, and we've seen it in our mind's eye. Okay? We didn't actually zoom to the future, and then we're standing there with Yehovah, Shem Yahushua, and the rest of the Akim, the apostle elders, and we got sneak preview, and we're like, oh shit, don't say nothing to nobody. No, the Lord showed us through the Spirit, showed us through the scriptures. And through us having faith in him, we know, hey, this is going to happen. Okay? It's going to be like a time to come, man. You're not gonna like it. Okay? Scriptures talk about the elect scarcely being saved. Okay? Scarcely being saved, man. It's going to be a fucking harsh time out here. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, ye troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay? And guess what? You're gonna be in a damned position, man. You're gonna be crying for those old days, man. You've been crying for those days to come back. You know? Where you used to have your fans only and all that bullshit. Where you used to have your welfare EBT. Where you used to kick up your feet, right? And sit back and relax. All at ease, collecting your welfare check off a man that you damn know near. He's not the father. Okay? The pleasant things that Esau Edom has set for you in this society, you're gonna lament for them. You're gonna howl. Yep. You're gonna howl, you're gonna cry. You're gonna be brought very, very low. Sackcloth? Come on now. You're gonna be brought to an extreme low. You know? And we keep warning you people. Salvation is not in this man. Salvation is not in this system. Salvation is not with this man. In fact, this man is ushered to go down. This man is ushered to be destroyed. The Lord set his bounds, man. But here it is. You got Shaniqua and fucking Big Betty saying, yeah, my EBTs, yeah, I can get new weave, yeah, I can get. They're not looking for the things that are gonna come. Some of them, they're feeling that taste, but that's our people. Hosea 5 and 15. When they feel that sting, that's when they wanna, in their affliction, they'll seek me early. When they're in the mud, when they're in the affliction, then they want to seek the Lord. But what are we doing? We're changing our life before that affliction. Okay? Before that affliction comes, we're changing our life. Well, the major sting that's going to come upon this whole society. Okay? We're changing up our life now. Not fucking tomorrow, next week, contingency plans, no. We heard what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai was saying through the Spirit. He gave us the Spirit to see and understand these things. So what are we supposed to do? We turn back onto Him. Okay? Looking for salvation. Okay? In hopes to be, a part of that number. So you women, you're going to cry in those harsh times, man. You're going to see really what your lover who you love to run to. So-called white man, Edom, Esau Edom, you love to run to him. You love to succor to him. In those days, as scriptures say, go cry unto those fucking powers that you were so desperately, vehemently running after. Okay? Just like we're vehemently running after Yahweh Shem Yahushai, go run after, go with the same energy and run after those gods, man, in that day. Okay? Because we keep telling you, keep barking at you, we keep yelling. This is what the Lord said. It's nauseating. Just keep going and going and going and going until that day when I arise, when I say it's fit. Then I send my son back. He comes, does his destruction, that's it. Takes his men with him, and that's it. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. Okay? Lord is cutting it off from them, man. The Lord is saying, no. Watch. The days when the internet is cut, when all those calamities of certain things, the internet is out, YouTube is down, you're trying to get on Odyssey, you're trying to get on Facebook, you're trying to get on these different platforms. But yeah, you keep seeing a signal revolving around. It happened the other day. You're trying to get on Snapchat, you're trying to get on WhatsApp, you cannot get no communication out there, okay? When the Lord says, fuck it, that's it, bring this YouTube down to an end. And he's gonna do that. Esau Edom is gonna get highly upset, which he is. One of the brothers had a video out, and this brother's video was from like 2 years ago or something like that. And the next thing you know, they cut the brother's video, right? And this is a video from 2 fucking years ago, man. 2 or 3 years ago, the brother said, okay? So they're digging back in the past just to, you know, pull up something what they would call dirt, right? This is all the excuses to try and cut this internet short, man. Okay? To try and cease the word of Yahweh. But guess what? You know, the Lord done chosen his elect, okay? And like Apostle Elder said some years back, he said the elect is probably already out there doing the work, man. Probably already sealed up doing the work, okay? Which I believe too, you know. At this point, this word has compassed the world many times around, man. Okay? So even if you were under a rock, you heard about this. You got brothers in North Korea, Iran, and various other places, you know, around the world that you wouldn't suspect. Okay? Man, these people are just fucked up in their head, man. So let's get into this. Tribulations, Jacob's trouble. Something that we keep warning you 2/3 about, but you're not listening. But right now you're seeing your best friend Mega, right? Your best friend Mega done pulled the wool on you. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 30 and 7. That last that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who's the who he, as I always say? Who's the he that gonna be saved out? The elect. The elect of the house of Israel is going to be pulled away from that melee. Okay? They're going to be saved. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and 9. Okay? He cares for his elect. He's not going to have you beat up, you know. Hey, what does the scripture say? But some are going to die. But what does the scripture say in Isaiah? It tells you that my servant shall eat, right? So anyways, going back into this, the he that shall be saved out of it is the elect, man. You modern fucking 2/3 dumbasses, you gonna get the harsh end of the stick, as they say. All right? You're gonna be pining away. You're gonna be catching by the sword. You're gonna be all types of judgment the Lord has set up for you individuals, man. And that's just, that's right. Because you did not listen. You mocked, you scoffed, you scorned. Basically, you thought you were scoffing and scorning at us, or mocking us. Really, you're mocking and scoffing the Most High, man. Remember, the scriptures say that you shall be hated for my name's sake. So if they didn't like that message then, they don't like the message now. They're the same people coming right back and doing the same shit over and over and over. Okay? But we're warning about these tribulations, these time that's coming up. And we're already in the midst of certain things, man. But y'all individuals are blind. You just don't want to hear. You just don't want to listen. You don't want to get down. Okay? Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Great tribulation shall fall upon the house of Israel, man. And if you're not right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you're going to catch it. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. This shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princesses, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. Okay? So, going back into this, Salakia, going back into this. Woe to them that dwell therein. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in the hand. Yeah, you're going to have race riots out here, man. You're going to have race riots. You're going to have the militia going against militia. Mega going against fucking Antifa and all these different, you know, these, what do they call them again? These little groups, okay? These little groups that pop up and say they represent this and that. I can't remember the specific name for them, but you're gonna have all these people coming against each other, warring, okay? And look at the condition of this place, what it is in right now. Look what the president's doing, basically. He's setting one people against another, okay? He's showing favoritism and making remarks that inflames one people and empowers another to say, oh yeah, let's get them. You know, this is our land. This land belongs to us. They should really be our servants and slaves. So you get where I'm getting at, okay? Here's the good old Proud Boys, okay? Standing up. Conservative boys standing up. The mega boys standing up, right? And they're all looking at you, Northern and Southern Kingdom, like meat. And remember, them niggas got guns. Yeah, they got guns, man. And when all shit goes to hell, they use these things as excuses. These little wars that are gonna happen, that the military gotta come in and take over, UN gotta come in and help. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy, man. We could see it. But you two-thirds just sit back and you play your damn video games and whatnot and whatever. So then when martial law comes down the pipe, what are you gonna say? When martial law comes down the pipe, what are you gonna say, man? You've been warned. You got no cloak for your sin, man. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princesses, and the course of their actions shall stand their head. In their power, Slaki. They're gonna say, fuck these guys. The government want us to stop, we'll go against them too. Okay? As remember, the grinding will cease. There ain't no gonna be no fucking stores open up and shit like that. Let me just run to the convenience store real quick and grab a couple of chips and bread and shit like that. Everything's gonna come to a halt. Okay? Everything is gonna come to a fucking halt, man. And you're gonna see people breaking into people's houses. Remember the days of Mad Max? Okay? The days of Mad Max, they're kidnapping people, prostituting on people. What can you give us? You got any gold? What do you want to make a change for? Or trade for? You know? You're gonna see these days come back, man. And this is the things that we're warning you about. It's not gonna be fun, okay? A man should desire to go into the city and should not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Okay? Like I said, when the stores are all closed off, you think you're gonna run to the gas station and say, yeah, let me just get a bag of milk, a pack of smokes, some chips. Oh, give me them spicy Dorito things. Very hot chip challenge. No, none of that shit is happening. I'm glad to tell you that everything's coming to an end. It tells you that Esau's the end and Jacob's the beginning that followed. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning, man. We're glad this society is going down. So those are some of the tribulations that you individuals are going to see. Oh, and on to us. The ones that fear Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Let's get this real quick. Let's not forget. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, spare none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Didn't we see this happening in Chicago on a low? They ran up in there with the
ICE agents and grabbed Jake out of there, man. Babies was outside naked, women was outside reportedly naked, bathtub, you know, that type of shit.
Come on, man. Then shall it be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in fire. So right now what we're seeing is a little tad bit of what the Lord is we're only getting
Let me say like 5%, 2% of the real view of what's gonna happen in those days. Okay? What they're doing now, alright? The actions they're taking now, you're only getting a 3%, a 2%, 5% of what that man is really gonna do. When the Lord goes like this, go gun-ho, and fucking lets him go full, shit. You're gonna see, man. You're gonna fucking see. Those days ain't gonna be funny. Here, O my beloved, saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Okay? Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift themselves up. Okay? So that's why we gotta keep our mind focused on serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Not swaying to the left, not swaying to the right. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that straight, on that straight path. Okay? Because we don't want to end up like you fucking 2/3 Jakes. We read about the punishments that will happen to our people. That we don't want to be caught up in that. Okay? Let's go. Revelation 13. We already know it. Alright? That's going to be a trying and testing right there too. Okay? Let's get some. Revelation 13 and 16. Causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay? Multiple times we've gone into that word mark. We break it down. Basically, we're already telling you, it's the MOTB. Okay? You're going to put that in your fucking hand, all right? Now, the Lord said, whoever takes that, let's get this real quick. Revelation 14 and 9. And a third angel followed, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? So you don't want no parts in that, as they would say. Okay? Because regardless, the ones in Babylon who take it, they're going to catch that thermal nuke. And the rest who are around the world, there's different judgments set up for them just as well. Okay? Talking about the 2/3. And on top of that too, the ulcers, the pus, we'll get into that real quick. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, which is specific time. And they had no rest day nor night, who worshiped the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay? Which shows you there's other people around the world who's going to take the mark. Okay? Because if you get no rest day and night, and you're dead, how does that work? Anyways, continuing. Revelation 16 and verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that worshipped his image. Right. Going in, when you go into that, it goes a pus-producing ulcer, or sore, pus-producing ulcer. Okay. So you take that is jam-packed with radiation, as we say. And when you individuals take that, you're gonna think, oh yeah, everything's good, everything's cool. But soon enough, you're gonna look down your hand and be like, yo, why my hand turn looking like gangreenish? Esau Edom go, oh, we had to recall some of those chips. You might want to get into the latest chip center. Okay, we'll guide you from there. Don't worry. You know, all types of excuses this man will give you.
But to those who didn't take it, Revelation chapter 15 and verse 2, and I saw as it were a sea mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on a sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh. Now, you know, some brothers say that's going to be us in the chariots, looking down, you know, however the chariot floor turns into like a glass and we can see through. You know, we're gonna be up on high looking down at the destruction of America. Bottom line, basically, okay? So the ones who don't take it get that victory. You know, the 144 over this man and his image, the beast system and all, right? And the mark, right? Who didn't take the mark? You take that mark, that's your ass, yo. Because you got some nukes that are on their way. Let's get this real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Verse 11. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth with waves from the deep. Yo, this is not, like the brother said, this is going to be 15, 30 feet. This is going to be giant waves. And you're not going to be able to survive, man. You're looking at a house and saying, that's kind of tall. They're going to be double the size of that, man. 60 feet, 30 feet, 80 feet per adventure. And the waves of it troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. They shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the end of the world. A couple things. No man can bend the arrow right here in Canada and shoot. Yeah, if I shoot that arrow, it'll probably go about as far as those cell towers. Okay? Maybe. That's pushing it. Okay? That's really pushing it. Okay? And what? Going back. The strong, his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, they shall not miss. Right? It tells us in Joel that they're not gonna bump into each other. And that's going to that laser guided system. Okay? When they're shot, they're gonna go right directly to the target where they're guided to go. Okay? They shall not miss. They also too, the chariots gonna fuck with Esau, Edom's, Babylon's. You know how they got the iron dome in you know where? America has a similar system, right? I'm not saying similar, exact similar to theirs, but somewhat of the same system. But with the ICBM, you're not gonna be able to touch that. There's no smoke screen that. No. Remember, he created Smith. So this is all guided by the Lord, man. Continuing, strong is the right hand, a bit of, oh yeah, already. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, meaning in this side, man, okay? And you can't shoot an arrow from Iran all the way over here. It needs to be an ICBM missile, all right? Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. That's it. When the Lord said He's gonna do it, He's gonna do it. Okay, fire is kindled, and who shall and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. Okay, Ophir, reducing the ashes over here, Babylon. Okay, which is known as Ophir. This place is gonna be reduced to ashes. Okay. Continuing, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Okay, that's right. Unless you right with the Lord, you're gonna taste of that. Okay, that's why you keep telling you. really our voice is onto the elect. 2/3 they're not gonna get right. Okay? 2/3 ain't gonna get right. They're not gonna give a shit. They're gonna be screaming, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days, man? Because they're not gonna get right. Okay? No matter how much times we come out here week by week, make videos after videos after videos after videos after videos, they still won't get right, man. And thus saith Yahweh Shimi Shai. Alright? Which is good, you know? Which is good. We don't give a rat's ass about them anyways. Let's go to something real quick. Let's get this Jeremiah. Jeez. What is it? Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 31. See, 28. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our power, the vengeance of his temple. What the fuck is that smell? Call together his archers. Salakia. Let me start from 29. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Salakia. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Okay? So yeah, all you nations, all those nations that said that the weak become strong, right? As it says in Joel, all of those nations, they all go, you know, like Babylon's in the middle, they all just gonna focus on her and be like, okay, you ready? You ready? All right, let's do this. That's why the scriptures tell you that they're gonna burn her off. Let me get in Revelation, but anyways, let me continue. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith Yahweh. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith Yahweh power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall be stubble and fall, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. That's it. That's going into the thermal nukes. Okay? None will be able to escape. Who the hell can escape a thermal nuke? They come on the TV and they go, you got 5 minutes. You're dead. You're done. You're finished. Okay? Let's go into this real quick. Going into our counterpart, European counterparts, and ultimately all these different nations too. But let's go into a scripture, Revelation chapter 6, 17 to 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, going into the EU, right? If I'm not mistaken. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Okay, ultimately these other nations, but the EU, the European nation, they're turning on America. They say, let's cut ties with these bitches, man. Fuck these niggas, okay? Fuck these guys, man. They're an embarrassment to the world. You know how those people are. You know, they wishy-washy, but they try to play like they're royalty. And certain things that happen in America, and the way these people speak, and the way these people act, oh my God, you know? They try to play that role, but they're just as dirty too. So yeah, they're gonna turn on the whore. And we already see this happening, okay? You know, Lord is gonna nuke this place, okay? He's going to get rid of this bitch. Let's go to Revelation chapter 6, verse 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman Slovakia. Really, I should have started up for this one. Yeah, I should have started up for that one there. Whatever, let's go back. Revelation 16 and verse 15, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens, these nuclear bunkers, right? And in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall abide? Who shall be able to stand? And that's right. When the Lord does his due, like I said, when them nukes go off and you get 30 feet fucking tidal waves and the earth cracking, and you're gonna be shitting bricks, man. Okay? I don't care how tough you think you are or whatever you think you went through before. In that day, that's gonna be a different day. It's gonna be a day that nobody has seen. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Right? Because when those nukes begin to pelt off, the Lord is going to be gathering up his elect. Okay? He's going to be gathering up his elect from four corners of the world, man, with the great promise that he has given them. Okay? 2/3 you're going to have to eat in that part. Okay? Because there's going to be various things that are going to happen all over the world, man. And you 2/3 chicks, you're going to get caught up in those things. Guaranteed. But when that day comes for, the elect to be beamed up, all y'all going to be looking around. You're going to be like, what the fuck is going on, yo? What's happening? Okay? Yeah. And that's what you get for fucking not listening. Let's get something real quick here too as well. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, with the trump of God, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. So the Lord is coming to take his elect from all this place, man. He's not going to have his men caught up in the same shit you're going to get caught up in. Okay? He's giving them a promise. All right? And he cared for his elect. Okay? Just like you care for your son, if you knew that impending doom was about to come down the pipe to him, you would try to save him, right? That's who you care for, right? So the Lord cares for us. And right now, this is how we know that, the kingdom's not established. But the kingdom will be established. Okay? So you have, the harsh times, the tribulations, the MOTV, the nukes. All right? Let's keep it going. After that, after all that tribulation, right? All those scenarios, those events, those prophecies are bound to happen, okay? The kingdom will be established, all right? Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. After all that destruction, all the melee, But I will put my law in the inward parts of Salakia after those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts and write them in their hearts, Salakia, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. And this is when the kingdom is established. Right now, the kingdom is not established, okay? As you can see, Jake running around crazy. We still got to warn them. We still got to tell them, know who your power is, right? Yup, let's go to the other one right real quick. I should have started with this, though. Revelation. These are events to happen in the near future, okay? Prophecy. Revelation chapter 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And that when you go into that word new, it's just going in kainos, for fresh. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God, out of heaven, appeared as a bride adorned for her husband. Okay? So the kingdom is going to be established. The kingdom's going to be established, okay? This is a future event. Like the Lord said, I'm going to wipe away all tears, all pain. You're not going to hurt no more. You guys are going to be in charge. You're going to be on top. You're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments in your heart. You're not going to go off. You're going to be on top. You're going to be ruling over these nations, okay? Within righteousness. Yup. Let's get this real quick. Let's go Micah 4 and 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow onto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, and let us go to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of Yahweh of Jacob, power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay? Because why? They're going to be underneath us. Okay? They're going to be subject to us. Okay? We're going to be the chief. We're going to be the top. Alright? And they're going to have to walk in our ways. The nation that will not utterly serve thee, or nation that will not serve thee, shall be utterly beaten to powder, man. Okay? Roughly phrasing. They're going to have to walk in our ways. They're not going to be keeping that wicked shit they've been doing in the world. Okay? They're going to have to serve the way we want them to serve. Okay? They're going to be subject to us. Alright? That's when the kingdom is established. Right now, as you see, let's go to this scripture real quick. When the righteous are in authority, what? The people rejoice, right? Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. Right now we see the people mourn. But when our kingdom is established, everything gonna be happy. The trees, the water, the air, the animals, everything gonna be happy, man. In fact, the trees say, since thou has fallen, since Esau has taken down, no fella has come up against us, man. And what's a fella? A person who chops down them trees, man. Arborist, all right? I know, because, I'm an arborist. Let's go into something real quick. And when the kingdom is established, we're going to have those new bodies, all right? Psalms 110 and verse 3, Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beautiness of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. Okay, we're going to be strong again. We're going to be powerful. We're going to be renewed, okay, in strength, stature, height, everything, okay? I'm not even going to make the next joke. I don't want to make that joke, but we're going to be full again, all right? We're going to be back to our normal sizes, all right? Let's get something real quick, man. This world, we're hurting, man. In this world right now, we're hurting. Physical, your body's breaking down and you gotta get up and go to work and all this shit. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. Beloved, now we are the sons of Yahweh, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Okay? We're gonna be just like how Yahweh Bashim Yahushai with them new bodies, okay? Them spiritual bodies. That force that you don't want to fuck with, okay? Yup. Within the twinkling of an eye. Let's get that real quick. Let me get this real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 15. Now, this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Once again, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be risen incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on, for this corruption must put on, or corruptible must put on the incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Okay? So that's that new body that we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye. And it tells you that, the dead shall be risen. When we read back in First Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 16, the dead shall rise first in Hamashiach, right? So the ones who are asleep. Let's go to something real quick here too. Philippians chapter 3 and verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, Yahweh, the Lord, Yahushai HaMashiach, who shall change our vile body, that it shall be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Right, and we're looking for those new bodies. We're going to be just like Yahushai, okay? Perfect, complete. In a matter of fact, let me go to our kids too. The babies are coming out, right? Let me just get straight to the point. Isaiah 11 and verse 8. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the ass, and the weaning child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. So yeah, nothing even going. And those are poisonous snakes, okay? Vipers and whatnot, adders and shit like that. Those are very poisonous snakes, man. And even our babies will be able to damn near box them up. The snake ain't gonna, even if the snake try to take a little bite, it won't even do nothing. I'm immune to this shit, nigga. What the fuck you trying? Like that, all right? As they say, like that, man. Let's go to something real quick. Yeah, going into that, bouncing off of that. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness of me, saith Yahweh. So no weapon that is formed against thee. They're going to be trying to fling bombs and... Slakia. You could try to fling bombs and anything that you want. You're not going to do nothing, man. You see when Yahushua and the angels return, You could try fling all the bombs, and because it tells you they're gonna turn. They're gonna 2nd Ezra chapter 13. They're gonna turn. They're gonna see the Lord. And they're gonna say, "Yo, let's fight them." Okay? And none of your bombs, your bullets, nothing. The angel's gonna come down, and the bullets gonna be flying right through them, and they're just gonna be laughing like, can speak in Hebrew like, "Yo, this is easy pickings, man. Come on, man. You know?" So hey, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. All these prophecies that are written within the scriptures, within the Holy Scriptures, are going to come to pass. All right, we're already seeing things, trickling down. All right, but the warning's gone out. Take heed, take heed, take heed. You don't want to take heed, that's not our problem. All right. So hey, Akim, I hope you're edified on this lesson. Let me close out. All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakam Kudash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all you Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified. Hey, we only got hey man, we almost out this fucking bitch, man. Fuck this place. Okay? I hope you're edified. Lord willing, to the next time, Akim. Shalom. And a bad babal, man. Fuck this place, man. Fucking wretched place. Destroy this place, oh Yahweh.